Okay, so on formula and change of subject formula, we are going to be taking these examples. Okay, the question here says change the subjects of the following formula. Okay, so in this first one, we are going to, S is equal to D over T, right? So we are going to be making T the subject of the formula, and then after that we'll make D the subject of the formula. Then here we have P plus R equals Q. Alright, so we're going to make P the subject of the formula. And of course, all those, you make U and T here, we make A here. Now, in changing the subject of a formula, we actually do it with our knowledge of the pattern by which equations are being solved. Alright, the way we solve equations is the way we go about changing the subject of the formula. Alright, so let's say I'm going to start with the first one where we have S equals D over T. Alright, so at this point we are trying to make T the subject of the formula. So this is a fraction, right? These two fractions. So the LCM of these two fractions is T. Alright, or I can simply do what we call, okay, let me show you this. The LCM of the two fractions, here is 1, here is T. The LCM of 1 and T, the denominators, is what? T. So I'll multiply both sides by the LCM, which is T, right? So when I have T, then I'll have T times S over 1 equals T times D over T, right? So once I get that, you find out that this T is going to cancel out this T. T divided by T will become 1. So here it's going to be T times S. T times S, I can write that as ST equals D, right? That's what is left here. So I now have ST equals to D. Alright, but I'm trying to make T the subject of the formula, right? Now, if I were to be making D the subject of the formula, then this is it. Okay? Now, we can write this as D equals ST. Alright, so in this case now, D has become the subject of the formula. Now, we have D equal to ST. Now, if we want to make T the subject of the formula, okay, what do? We have to make sure we get rid of this S standing close to T. Alright, so from ST equals D, okay, I'm just writing the same thing. I'll just divide through by T. I'll divide through by T. Alright, so I'm going to have ST over T equals D over S. Right? No. Sorry, I'm going to be dividing through by S. So that I'll have ST over S equals D over S, right? So S will cancel S. I'll be left with T. Right? I'll be left with T. Okay, I know you can't see that. I'll be left with, okay, this semicolon is separating this from what I want to write. I'll be left with T equals D over S. Alright, by doing this, we have been able to make T the subject of the formula here, and D the subject of the formula here. Okay, so that's it about changing of subject of formula. That's for the first example. We are going to take the second example right now. Alright, so the second example, we have P plus R equals Q. We have to make P the subject of the formula. Okay, I'm going to make P and R the subject of the formula. So if I'm going to make P the subject of the formula, it means I don't need this guy to be here with P. P has to stand alone, right? So what I'll do is I'll move this guy across the equality sign. So P is going to be equal to Q. Of course, when plus R moves across the equality sign, it becomes a negative number. So it will be Q minus R. Alright, so that's what we have here. Okay, now again, if it was r that we wanted to make the subject of the formula. Okay, let's say we have p plus r equals q, and we have to make r the subject of the formula. What that means is that we have to move p. Okay, so we move p across the equality sign, so this will now become r equals q minus p. Alright, so that's it for arrow being the subject of the formula. Alright, so having said that, we will move to the third example where we have v equal to u plus 18. Alright, so here we have v equals u plus 18. Alright, we have to make u the subject of the formula. Alright, so we have v equals u plus 80. Oh, that's already written. I don't know why I'm writing it again. Alright, so what will now happen is that if we are to make u the subject of the formula, it means whatever is standing in this other side of the equation has to move. Alright, so 80 has to move. 80 has to move. So this will now mean that 80 will go to meet v. Alright, let me write this equation in this way. U plus 80 equals v. Alright, in this manner that I've written, is the same thing as this, right? If v equals u plus 80, that means u plus 80 equals v. Okay, so if this is the case, I want to make u the subject of the formula. So I'll move this guy away from here. So u will now become equal to v minus what? 80. Alright, so with this, we have made u. You can see u is standing alone. So u is now the subject of the formula. Alright, so let's go to t. Alright, we also have v equals u plus 80. And we want to make t the subject of the formula. It means that this guy has to live here. A has to live here. So let's work on that now. This will now become v. U moving over, it will become a negative u equals what? We'll be left with what? 18. Now, we remove this one using this subtraction because it was connected to this other part by addition, so we removed it by subtraction. So now this a is connected to the t by multiplication. A times t is what gives us 18. So if we are going to make t the subject of the formula, we have to remove a. How do we remove a? We remove a by doing the opposite of multiplication, which is divide. Alright, so we divide both sides. We divide both sides by a. We don't want a standing close to t. So this is going to become v minus u over a equals 80 over a. Alright, so with this now, this a cancels this a. So we are left with v minus u over a. So this is simply telling us that, okay, I'm using this semicolon again. This is simply telling us that t equals v minus u over a. Alright, by this now, we have made t the subject of the formula. You can see that. Okay, now to the third one, where we have v squared equals u squared plus 2as. We are required to make a the subject of the formula. So if we are going to make a the subject of the formula, it means we have to move every other thing on this part of the equation to this other side, so that a will be left standing alone. Alright, so for us to do that, first of all, u squared has to move. Okay, so we become v squared. U squared moving will become minus u squared equals, then we'll be left with 2as. Alright, so that's what we have. Now we are trying to make a the subject of the formula, but a has neighbors that are connected by has family members connected by multiplication. So we have to get rid of the 2 and s. So how do we get rid of the 2 and s? So we divide we divide both sides by 2s. Alright, so when we do that, we are going to get v squared minus u squared all over 2s and 2as all over 2s. Now if you look at this with me, 2 will be taken care of 2. That's 2 divided by 2 becomes 1. S divided by s becomes 1. Alright, so everything here is a times 1. So that means, which is a, right? So it means that v squared minus u squared all over 2s equals a. Alright, which we can also write as a equals v squared minus u squared all over 2s. Alright, so that's simply how we go about formula and change of subject formula. Alright, so that's it. We're going to take a couple more examples before we can delve into something else.